Hello guys, in the last video we were discussing about single phase induction machines, that is module 5. This is the next part of the module 5, that is standalone solar photovoltaic system. So we need to discuss about the application, necessary usage of standalone solar photovoltaic system. Photovoltaic system we can also call it as PV system shortly. So this is solar powered. As we know, the electricity can be generated by different sources. Generally we are going to use coal, that is the thermal power plants. Other than thermal power plants, we can use nuclear power plants, we can use hydel power plants, we can use wind energy system. So many things are there. So solar is also one of that. From the last 20 decades, this solar is creating a wide energy resource for generation of electric power. So why? Because this is one of the easiest form of extracting power. Just we need to connect a solar panel. So once we connect a solar panel, we'll get the power. And this is a renewable energy resource. What do you mean by a renewable energy resource? We have two types of energy sources. One is renewable and another one is non-renewable. Non-renewable means one or the other day which is going to end, that we call it as conventional energy resources. For example, fuel. If we take an example of thermal, we are going to use coal as a source. Where we are getting the coal? We are getting from the earth. So one or the other day that might end. The resources available for thermal power plant may end. So that is called conventional energy resource. Means it is it is non-renewable. Coming to a wind energy system, we can generate electricity power using wind. So that is wind power generation. So wind is widely available, but there are so many difficulties while extracting power from the wind. So we are not bothering about that right now. We are concentrating only on solar power system. So it is a renewable energy resource and it is a cleanest form of energy. Form of energy. Pure. It is not going to disturb the environment. It is not going to create any gases. As in case of thermal, so after burning of thermal, we are releasing so much amount of carbon dioxide into the environment. So in that way, if we look at the solar, it is a cleanest form of energy. Only one disadvantage we have with respect to solar photovoltaic system is the availability of sun. So it only works on solar, that is the availability of sun. First we'll write the block diagram of this system. The main source is solar panels. Solar panel, or you can call it as a supply. From the solar panel, we need to connect the output. We are going to measure in terms of VOC, open circuit voltage, ISC, that is short circuit current. So the output of solar panel is connected to the charge controller. I will explain each block. Charge controller. The output of the charge controller is connected to battery. And we are going to connect the same output of charge controller to DC-DC converter. The output of DC-DC converter is connected to DC loads. Generally, we are going to use AC loads. Our home appliances, industrial appliances, all are designed to have AC supply. But here our solar panel can generate only DC. With respect to that, we have written a block diagram. Then how to use this solar energy for AC systems? So here we need to connect an inverter. So inverter converts DC to AC. So here we have inverter. From the inverter we'll get an AC and we can connect it to the AC loads. Yes. So this is the complete block diagram of standalone solar power system. I will study each and every block. So our first block is solar panel. So solar panel is one thing which converts the solar energy into electrical energy. Solar panel. So basically it consists of cells, and these cells, like we have a solar energy here, sun. From the suns we are going to get the radiation from the sun. So here we have solar panel, and this panel is made up of different materials. We can design a panel using silicon, or we can design using germanium, which are the semiconductor devices. So this is a solar panel, and a single panel. Inside a panel we have cells. Basically the panel is made up of cells, solar cells. So one single cell are connected in series or parallel. These cells are connected either in series or parallel to form module. If the cells are connected, number of cells are connected in series parallel combination, then that complete thing is called module, solar module. When these types of modules are connected in series and parallel, that is called, we have one module here, we might have another module. So like this. So these are the cells connected in series or parallel combination. So this is another module. When these two modules are connected in series parallel combination, then it is called panel, solar panel. When the number of panels are connected in series and parallel, if the cells are connected in series and parallel combination, that is called module. If the modules are connected in series and parallel, that is called panel. If number of panels are connected in series and parallel, then that is called solar array. Generally in the solar power generating stations you can look to this array, solar arrays. So here we have solar panel. Once radiation fall on the solar panel, we are going to get electrical energy. Electrical energy. How means? From the solar panel we are getting photons. When this photons falls on the semiconductor material, it is going to eject an electron. When we connect load across the solar panel, the electron take a path of the load and current starts flowing through the circuit. That's how your solar panel is converting the solar energy into electrical energy. So this is your first part, that is solar, which converts the solar energy into electrical energy. Which is our next block? Our next block is charge controller. So the output of solar panel, if you don't connect any load, the output will be measured in terms of voltage, that is open circuit voltage. When we connect a load, the current flows through that. Instead of connecting load, if we short circuit the solar panel, the maximum current the solar panel can offer, that current is called short circuit current. So next block is charge controller. Why we need to use charge controller? What do you mean by charge controller? In the solar panel, I told you when the photons falls on the solar panel, it is converting the solar energy into electrical energy, and the electrical energy is measured in terms of power, where this power is a product of V into I, voltage across the load multiplied by current flowing through the load. This is the total power generated by the solar panel, and this power depends on two parameter inputs of the solar. So what are those parameters? One is intensity of sunlight. Another one is temperature. So based on these two parameters, the power is decided. As the power is directly proportional to intensity and it is inversely proportional to temperature, means as the intensity increases, solar power intensity increases, the power generating capacity also increases. As the temperature increases, the power generating capacity decreases. As you can observe, from morning to evening, every second the solar intensity varies. Every second, from morning 6 to evening 6. So the power generated will not be constant. So if intensity is constant, then only the power generated is constant. Now the intensity is varying every second. So what will be the what will be the output of solar? It is also varying every second. To keep that constant, we are using a charge controller. So at every instant, the solar output changes, the power generated changes depending on the intensity of the sunlight. From morning 6 to evening 6, the intensity varies. So the generated solar output will be fluctuating. Normally the output of solar panel is DC. It is going to generate DC power, and the generated DC power will be fluctuating. To make this fluctuating current constant, we are using a charge controller. So the property of this charge controller, normally if you look at the block diagram, the output of charge controller is given to the battery. So battery, what do you mean by battery? Battery is a source. That is nothing but we can charge the battery or we can discharge the battery. If we give current input to the battery, it will get charged. If we take the battery as a source and if we connect load to the battery, it will discharge. Anyway, if you look at the battery and parameters, so it will be mentioned as 12 volts 10 ampere hour or 24 volts 2 ampere hour. So what is this ampere hour? The battery can discharge. The supply is 12 volts. The battery can discharge. If it discharges 10 amperes continuously, it will get discharged in 1 hour. If we connect a load of 5 ampere for the same battery, for this battery if we connect 5 ampere load, what happens? It will take 2 hours to completely get discharged. Likewise, so come to this 2 amperes per hour. If we connect a load of 2 amperes and if it takes constant 2 amperes, then the battery will completely discharge in 2 hours. So if we connect 1 ampere, the battery will take 2 hours to completely discharge. So here if we connect a load of 1 ampere, what happens? The battery will take 10 hours to get discharged. So that is what the property of the battery. So basically what battery needs? Constant current to discharge or to charge. It will require constant current. For the same battery, if we need to charge, so this is nothing but discharge. If we need to charge, if I connect 10 ampere hour source, so this is the source and here I have a battery. If we connect 10 ampere source, the battery will get charged in 1 hour. If I connect 5 ampere source, the battery will charge in 2 hours. If I connect 1 ampere source, the battery will charge in 10 hours. Similarly, if I connect 20 ampere source, the battery will charge in half an hour. Why? Because 10 ampere hour battery I'm going to give double the current. When I double the current, the charging rate of the battery increases. So it will get charged in half an hour. So basically the battery needs constant current. That constant current is supplied from the charge controller. That's why we are using charge controller. Charge controller protects the battery from overcurrent or undercurrent. It will give the constant current for some particular time. So that's why we are using charge controller. And this charge controller is mandatory whenever you use solar panel. No solar panels are connected without charge controller. And why we need to connect battery? Anyway, you can look at here. See, we have DC-DC converter and we connected it to the load. Then we can remove this battery now. We need not to use this battery. From the solar panel, we can use the charge controller and we can give it to loads. But what is the necessity of the battery? So as we know, the solar panel converts the solar energy into electrical energy. What can we do at the night time? Night time we don't have solar energy. So night time also we need the same power. So the battery acts as a secondary source. Secondary source means during daytime when the solar energy is at peak, the battery is going to charge completely. And when the solar is unavailable, during that condition, the battery acts as a source and it will supply to the load. See here. From the solar panel charge controller, the battery will get charged. Once there is no supply from the solar panel, the battery will be used as a source. Forget this. The battery will be used as a source to connect to the loads. So this is how it happens. That is the importance of the battery. Battery acts as a secondary source for standalone photovoltaic system. That is the application of battery. Then we have DC to DC converter. DC to DC converter. Right here. So what is this DC to DC converter? This is basically a power electronics device. What is it? Power electronic device. As the name indicates, DC to DC. We know the solar output is DC and the input for the battery is DC. Output of the battery is DC. So here you have a battery. The battery will take DC as an input, and when solar is not available, its output is also DC. And we have DC to DC converter. Anyway, the supply is DC. Here we need to convert DC to DC. Why DC to DC conversion is required? That is the question. I'll write the block diagram so you can understand better. DC to DC converter. Here we are giving the input, that is DC. Here we are taking the output, that is also DC. But here we are giving the input fixed DC. Fixed DC input, and the output is variable DC. So what is DC to DC converter? Which converts the fixed DC input voltage into variable DC output voltage. Why? Because I have a panel. Let us assume I have a solar panel which can generate an voltage 12 volts. The generating capacity of the panel is 12 volts. Here we are connecting the AC loads. We can call this as a home loads. So home loads means here fan, fridge, AC. Okay. And those are working with 230 volts, 50 hertz AC supply. What is the capacity of your panel? 12 volts. How to get this 230 volts from the 12 volts? Who will increase this voltage? We are not using any transformer here. So that's why we need to use DC to DC converter. So DC to DC converter is a converter which converts fixed DC into variable DC, either with increase in amplitude or decrease in amplitude of the voltage. If you are giving 12 volts, you can use we have different types of DC-DC converter. For example, buck converter, boost converter, buck boost converter. Likewise, we have many. Okay. When you use buck converter, your output voltage will be less than the input voltage. When you use boost converter, your output voltage will be more than the input voltage. When you use buck boost converter, depending on the duty cycle given to the device, you are going to get the output voltage either less or more. So that is what DC to DC converter. Basically, it converts fixed DC input voltage to variable DC voltage. So this is the application of DC-DC converter. You can see here we have a constant voltage. At the output, what we are getting? We are getting some partial output. Parted output is nothing but we have chopped the output. That's why we call DC-DC converter as chopper. Another name for DC-DC converter is chopper. So what do you mean by chopper? Sometimes you might get question to write a short note on the chopper. So what is chopper? Chopper is a DC to DC converter which converts fixed DC input voltage to variable DC output voltage. When we use charge controller, we are going to get the constant current from the charge controller which can charge the battery or which can give input to the DC-DC converter. So when we use DC-DC converter, we can get required amount of DC output voltage. So this required amount of DC output voltage, we can use it for DC loads directly. The DC loads usually we are going to use in industries, not in home appliances. For home appliances, we need AC voltage, as I have mentioned here. 230 volts, 50 hertz AC supply. How to get AC supply from DC? The output of the panel is DC. We have done many circuits to get the variable DC. How to obtain an AC from the DC supply? That's why we are using an inverter. Next block is inverter. So inverter is a DC to AC converter. So your inverter will not step up or step down the voltage. Whatever the DC input you are going to give, the same DC input voltage will be converted to AC. So here we have DC to AC converter. That is nothing but inverter. So what you are going to give as an input? Input is a DC supply. It might be a variable DC or fixed DC. Whatever you want, you can give. DC voltage, and here you are getting the output as an AC. So AC means it is a time varying quantity. A means amplitude. So AC. This AC supply we can feed it to the home appliances, residentials, industrial appliances. So that is the complete working of standalone solar photovoltaic system. See here, panel which generates DC supply. From the panel we are giving it to charge controller which regulates the solar panel output. Solar panel output will be fluctuating depending on intensity and temperature. That will be regulated from the charge controller. The regulated output is given to the battery or DC to DC converter. See, this charge controller, sometimes we can use it as a bidirectional converter. Bidirectional converter. So here we can use a converter that is bidirectional converter. Every time it's need not required. If you want, you can use. What is the application of bidirectional converter? It can charge the battery. When the solar is not available, it can discharge through bidirectional converter. So both the direction working. Otherwise we can charge the battery and we can remove it and we can use it for some other loads. So then we have DC-DC converter which converts fixed DC to variable DC. We can supply it to the DC loads directly, or we can convert it into AC and we can use for AC loads. This is the block diagram and working of solar energy. Thank you.